Welcome to the Forbidden Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the shadowy corridors of power, whispers of a grand design have long echoed. A seismic shift on a global scale, not born out of natural progression, but through meticulous planning. The term for this clandestine operation? The global reset. A concept so broad, so profound, it's hard to grasp in its entirety. Like a meticulously crafted puzzle, each piece of the global reset is positioned with precision, contributing to an overarching plan that could potentially reshape our world as we know it.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The enigma of the global reset is not a new one. Historical records reflect a persistent pattern of societal overhaul, often following calamity or crisis. Whether it's the reconstruction of Europe after World War II or the economic transformation following the Great Depression, humanity has a history of using catastrophe as a catalyst for change. But the question lingers: are these resets incidental, or are they intentionally triggered? Intriguing evidence suggests a level of orchestration that might seem almost implausible. The World Economic Forum, for instance, has openly discussed the concept of a Great Reset, a comprehensive revamp of the world's political and economic systems. This, in tandem with the United Nations Agenda 2030, a blueprint for sustainable development on a global scale, suggests that the idea of a pre-planned societal shift is more than mere conjecture. Yet, the pervasiveness of such a plan reaches far beyond the conventional corridors of power. It permeates the spheres of technology, finance, and even our day-to-day social interactions. Cryptocurrency, a disruptive financial technology, has the potential to dismantle traditional banking systems. The rise of artificial intelligence and automation could redefine the global workforce. Social media reshapes our discourse, influencing our opinions and choices in ways we are only beginning to understand. While some see these shifts as organic and spontaneous, a growing body of skeptics argue that they form part of a larger, pre-planned agenda. An agenda that seeks to rewrite the rules of the world, to reset the balance of power, wealth, and influence. Such an assertion warrants careful scrutiny. To untangle this intricate web, it's essential to dive deep into the intricate workings of our world, to explore the hidden mechanisms that drive change on a global scale. Only then can we begin to comprehend the magnitude of the global reset and our place within it. The mere possibility of a global reset stirs a sense of disquiet, compelling us to question the very fabric of our society. Are we on the precipice of a new world order? Or are we simply reading too much into the winds of change? The answers are buried in the sands of time, waiting to be unearthed by those brave enough to seek them. The quest for truth is often a daunting journey, but it's a journey we must undertake, for in the pursuit of knowledge lies the power to shape our destiny. To truly grasp the scope and the potential implications of a global reset, we must first cast our gaze back through the annals of history. The threads of this narrative are woven into the tapestry of our past, stretching back to the earliest civilizations. The Sumerians, the ancient people of Mesopotamia, are often credited as the architects of modern society. Their pioneering inventions include the wheel, the plow, and the first known form of writing, cuneiform. However, beyond these tangible contributions, they also left us a system of belief that has undeniably influenced the trajectory of human civilization. The Sumerians believed in a divine order, a cosmic blueprint that governed the universe. This belief extended to their societal structures, where the king was seen as the earthly embodiment of this divine mandate. Power, wealth, and influence were not just matters of chance or birthright, but a reflection of the divine will. This concept of a preordained order is not unique to the Sumerians. It can be found in various guises across different cultures and time periods. The Chinese mandate of heaven, the divine right of kings in medieval Europe, and even the Hindu concept of dharma all echo this belief in a pre-planned societal structure. Yet history is also replete with instances of sudden and sweeping change. The fall of the Roman Empire, the French Revolution, the collapse of the Soviet bloc. Each of these events marked a reset of the existing order. In many cases, these shifts were precipitated by a perfect storm of social, economic, and political factors, creating an environment ripe for radical transformation. These historical resets were rarely peaceful or seamless. They were often characterized by upheaval, conflict, and a painful period of adjustment. Yet they also led to the emergence of new societal structures, new systems of governance, and new ways of understanding the world. The idea of a global reset, then, is not without precedent. It's a theme that's been replayed throughout history, albeit on a smaller scale. What differentiates the present scenario is the scope of the change being proposed. A global reset would not merely alter the dynamics of a specific region or country. It would reshape the entire world, redrawing not just political borders, but also social norms, economic systems, and cultural practices. As we delve further into the concept of a global reset, it's crucial to remember this historical context. It provides a lens through which we can view the current developments with a more discerning eye, allowing us to discern patterns and parallels that might otherwise go unnoticed. It also serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of such a radical transformation, a reminder that change, while often necessary, can also be fraught with challenges and uncertainties. Proponents of the global reset theory often argue that this grand design is not a recent construct, but rather it has been foretold in ancient texts and hidden within the annals of esoteric knowledge for centuries. They point to several key figures, texts, and discoveries as evidence of this. Firstly, there are the Dead Sea Scrolls. Unearthed in the mid-20th century, these ancient Jewish texts contain apocalyptic prophecies that some interpret as predicting a future global upheaval and restructuring. They speak of an end-of-days scenario, followed by a new world order, which aligns with the global reset theory. Then there are the Mayan prophecies, specifically the infamous long count calendar. While it famously predicted a cataclysmic event in 2012, many believe that the Mayans were, in fact, foretelling a long period of transformation leading to a new world era, rather than a sudden end of times. The I Ching, an ancient Chinese text, is another source often cited. It's a complex system of divination that some interpreters have aligned with the theory of a global reset. The text speaks of cyclical patterns of change and the inevitable fall and rise of societal structures. In more recent history, whistleblowers from various institutions have also added fuel to the global reset discourse. Edward Snowden's revelations about mass surveillance, for instance, have been interpreted as signs of increasing global control, a key aspect of the purported reset. Similarly, the insider revelations of banking scandals, such as the Panama Papers, have been seen as indicators of a global financial system primed for a total overhaul. Beyond texts and whistleblowers, there are also the enigmatic symbols found in archaeological digs and ancient architecture worldwide. The pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, the Nazca lines in Peru. These mysterious structures have been interpreted by some as coded messages left by our ancestors, warnings of a future global reset. It's important to note that all these interpretations remain speculative. The Dead Sea Scrolls, the Mayan prophecies, the I Ching. These are complex, multifaceted works that have been studied and interpreted in countless ways over the years. Likewise, the words of whistleblowers and the true meanings of ancient symbols are subjects of intense debate. Whether these pieces of evidence truly point to a pre-planned global reset is a matter of personal belief. However, what they do illustrate is that the idea of a cyclical upheaval and transformation of society is not new. It's a theme that's been woven into our collective consciousness for millennia, surfacing in different forms across cultures and time periods. And it's this recurring motif that lends the theory of a global reset its enduring, albeit controversial, appeal. At the heart of the global reset theory is the idea that our world is being intentionally reshaped, following a premeditated plan by covert global powers. This plan, the theory suggests, is not a spontaneous response to the problems of the day, but a long-term strategy designed to bring about a new world order. But what are the anomalies that give this theory its disruptive and compelling edge? Firstly, there's the coding of time. Many interpretations of ancient prophecies, such as the Mayan calendar or the I Ching, suggest a cyclical nature of time, with periodic resets that disrupt the linear progression of history. This cyclicality defies our modern understanding of time as a one-way arrow, always moving forward. Then there's the idea of a hidden hand guiding world events, a concept that runs counter to our belief in free will and spontaneous societal evolution. This aspect of the theory suggests that decisions made at the highest levels of power are not independent or random, but are instead part of a meticulously plotted course. From this perspective, events like economic crashes, wars, or technological advancements are not spontaneous or accidental, but rather carefully orchestrated steps towards the ultimate goal of global transformation. Another disruptive claim centers on the use of symbolism. The theory suggests that signs and symbols in ancient architecture, as well as in modern corporate and government logos, contain hidden messages about the global reset. This proposition challenges our conventional understanding of language and communication, implying a secret visual language that's understood by a select few. Of course, there's also the eerie alignment between some aspects of the global reset theory and the realities we're witnessing today. The rise of surveillance technologies, the growing power of multinational corporations, increasing global interconnectivity. These phenomena are remarkably consistent with the supposed objectives of a global reset. However, these alignments could also be interpreted as mere coincidences or the results of independent trends in our evolving society. The question of whether they're part of a pre-planned trajectory or simply the product of unplanned societal evolution is a contentious one, adding another layer of intrigue to the global reset discourse. Finally, there's the issue of secrecy. The theory implies the existence of a covert global network with the power to shape the trajectory of human civilization, an idea that directly challenges our belief in transparent, democratic systems. This aspect of the theory asks us to consider the possibility of a hidden reality beneath the surface of our everyday lives, a prospect both unsettling and captivating. This combination of anomalies, disruptions to our concepts of time, power, language, reality, and transparency, is what makes the global reset theory so compelling. It presents an alternative narrative of our world, one that challenges mainstream understandings and invites us to question the nature of our reality. Whether one accepts or rejects this narrative, its disruptive potential is undeniable. considering the physical and scientific evidence can further our understanding of the global reset theory. To begin, think about carbon dating, a method used by scientists to determine the age of artifacts and geological phenomena. According to mainstream science, civilizations such as the ancient Egyptians and the Mayans emerged a few thousand years ago. Yet carbon dating has repeatedly produced anomalous results, suggesting that some of these civilizations could be far older than currently believed. Could these discrepancies signify the existence of civilizations that predate our current understanding of history? Civilizations that might have had knowledge of the global reset?
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
This podcast is supported by FX's English Teacher. Last year's critically acclaimed series returns to follow Evan, Gwen, and Marky as they vie for their students' divided attention. See why Cosmopolitan called its premiere season a masterclass of comedy, while Glamour raved it's the year's funniest and most heartwarming new comedy series. FX's English Teacher. All new Thursdays on FX. All episodes now streaming on Hulu.
While we cannot definitively answer this question, these anomalies in carbon dating do add another layer of mystery to our understanding of the past. Next, we must consider the evidence of megalithic construction. Across the globe, ancient structures from the pyramids of Giza to the stone circles of Stonehenge exhibit a level of precision and sophistication that seems to defy their historical context. The immense size and weight of these stones, coupled with their precise alignment to celestial bodies, begs the question: could these structures be the work of a highly advanced civilization with knowledge of a cyclical global reset? Turning to sacred geometry, we find another intriguing piece of the puzzle. Sacred geometry is the belief that certain geometric shapes and proportions have symbolic or spiritual value. These patterns are pervasive in nature and are also found in the architecture of many ancient structures. Could this be a universal language that conveys information about the global reset across cultures and eras? DNA studies also provide fascinating insights. Recent breakthroughs in genetic research have revealed surprising interconnections between different human populations, suggesting a shared, ancient ancestry that transcends current geopolitical boundaries. Could this genetic memory hold clues about a global reset hidden deep within our DNA? Yet modern science, with its adherence to empirical data and rigorous methodology, often falls short in accounting for these anomalies. Mainstream academia frequently dismisses such evidence as pseudoscience, limiting our understanding of these phenomena. In the end, the physical and scientific evidence is just as enigmatic as the theory itself, offering tantalizing hints without definitive answers. As we continue to explore the global reset theory, we must keep an open mind and recognize that our current scientific knowledge may not be sufficient to fully comprehend the secrets of our past. We must be prepared to venture into the realms of the unexplained, the mystical, and the forbidden. The theory of a pre-planned global reset does not go unchallenged. Mainstream academia, media, and institutional authorities have often pushed back, attempting to suppress or discredit the concept. Their reasons vary, yet many revolve around the preservation of their accepted narratives and the prevention of what they perceive as misinformation. In academic circles, the global reset theory is often dismissed as pseudoscience. Established academics frequently argue that the hypothesis lacks empirical support, does not adhere to the scientific method, or contradicts accepted historical and archaeological timelines. This dismissal often comes without a thorough exploration of the evidence supporting the theory. The academic community, bound by the peer review system, tends to view such theories with skepticism, favoring established narratives and paradigms that align with conventional wisdom. In the media landscape, the global reset theory is often labeled as a conspiracy theory, a term that has grown increasingly pejorative over time. This categorization often serves to discredit the theory before a detailed examination of the evidence can take place. Media outlets favor stories that fit established frameworks and narratives, and ideas that challenge these narratives, like the global reset theory, are often dismissed or ridiculed. Institutional forces, such as governmental bodies and corporations, may also have vested interests in suppressing the global reset theory. If the premise holds true, it would imply a disruption of the status quo and potentially challenge the power structures that these entities represent. Therefore, these institutions may attempt to discredit or suppress the theory to maintain their positions of authority. However, the pushback against the global reset theory is not universally accepted. Some scholars, independent researchers, and alternative media outlets continue to explore the evidence supporting the theory, despite the mainstream dismissal. They argue that science, by its nature, should remain open to new ideas and evidence, even if it challenges established paradigms. The suppression and debunking of the global reset theory highlight an important aspect of human knowledge: the struggle between accepted narratives and emerging theories. These reactions expose the tension inherent in our pursuit of understanding, a tension between the comfort of established knowledge and the unsettling potential of unknown truths. It is within this tension that the theory of a pre-planned global reset continues to thrive, persisting in the face of criticism and pushing the boundaries of our understanding. Turning the lens toward the spiritual and metaphysical dimensions, the global reset theory takes on even deeper implications. The theory suggests a fundamental alteration in our collective consciousness, a shift in our understanding of our place in the cosmos. In many spiritual traditions, human existence is seen as a journey of evolution, both of the individual and the collective. The global reset theory could be interpreted as a significant milestone in this spiritual evolution, a profound shift in our collective consciousness that propels us into a new stage of development. If we were to accept this interpretation, the global reset would not simply be a geopolitical or economic restructuring. Rather, it would represent a turning point in our collective spiritual journey, a quantum leap in our understanding of ourselves, our world, and our place in the cosmos. The theory also raises questions about our origins. If there is indeed a pre-planned global reset underway, guided by unseen forces or entities, it could lend credence to theories that suggest humanity's origins are not solely terrestrial. Many ancient cultures speak of celestial beings or gods who had a hand in our creation or evolution. Could the global reset be part of a grand cosmic design, a next step in our evolution orchestrated by these higher powers? This perspective also invites us to consider the nature of divine purpose. If the global reset is indeed part of a grand design, it suggests a divine intentionality behind the events unfolding in our world. It posits the existence of a greater cosmic plan of which we, as a species, are an integral part. The contemplation of a cosmic design brings us into the realm of metaphysics, the exploration of reality beyond the physical. Within this framework, the global reset isn't merely a series of external events. It's a process of inner transformation, a shift in our collective consciousness that mirrors changes in the physical world. To understand the full potential of the global reset theory, we must be willing to step beyond the physical, beyond the political and the economic, and into the realm of the spiritual and metaphysical. Here, The theory invites us to contemplate our place in a grand cosmic design, to question our origins, and to consider the nature of our divine purpose. Indeed, the concept of a pre-planned global reset could be as much about our internal world as it is about the external one. Its implications reach far beyond our physical reality, touching the very core of our spiritual and metaphysical existence. This exploration of a grand cosmic design and pre-planned global reset has found a home in the vast expanse of modern media, from documentaries and books to social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube. The portrayal and influence of the global reset theory in these mediums showcase a growing interest and curiosity in such profound concepts. In documentaries, the global reset is often depicted as a mysterious, impending event of monumental significance. Documentaries such as The Great Reset, A New World Order, and The Global Reset, The End of the World as We Know It, delve into the theory with a serious tone, presenting evidence, interviewing experts, and often leaving viewers with more questions than answers. The idea of a planned reset, they suggest, is not just a fringe belief, it's a possibility worthy of exploration. Books such as The Great Reset, How New Ways of Living and Working Drive Post-Crash Prosperity, by Richard Florida, and COVID-19, The Great Reset, by Klaus Schwab and Thierry Malloret, further explore the concept. These works provide a more in-depth look, examining the potential socioeconomic and geopolitical changes that a global reset could bring about. The authors, however, leave it up to the reader to decide whether these changes are part of a pre-planned event or simply the result of natural progression. Meanwhile, social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube are teeming with short clips, long-form videos, and even series dedicated to the global reset theory. These platforms allow information to be shared quickly and widely, fueling discussions and debates while also spreading awareness of the theory to a broader audience. The content ranges from simplistic explanations to complex dissections, each contributing to the collective consciousness around the subject. Perhaps most intriguing are the online truth-seeking communities where discussions about the global reset theory run deep. Forums such as Reddit's r/Conspiracy or the above top-secret website provide a space for individuals to share research, discuss theories, and explore potential implications. These communities often operate outside the mainstream narrative, bringing to the table perspectives that might be overlooked or dismissed elsewhere. The portrayal of the global reset theory in modern media and culture reflects a growing openness to the possibility of pre-planned events on a global scale. It also points to an increasing willingness to consider the metaphysical, to acknowledge that there may be more to our existence and our world than what meets the eye. Whether one subscribes to the theory or not, the very act of discussing it, whether in a documentary, a book, or an online forum, serves to expand our collective consciousness, challenging us to question, to explore, and to seek out our own truth. In the labyrinthine corridors of speculative theories, the notion of a pre-planned global reset dovetails with several other fascinating fringe ideas. These esoteric offshoots, while seemingly unrelated, weave together a tapestry of hidden knowledge that echoes with unspoken truths. The idea of ancient aliens, interdimensional beings, lost technologies, and hybrid bloodlines all play their part in this grand cosmic drama. The ancient astronaut theory, for instance, suggests that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the distant past, imparting knowledge and influencing human cultures, technologies, and religions. Proponents argue that these celestial visitations could be part of a larger cosmic plan, perhaps the early seeds of a preordained global shift. The evidence, they assert, is hidden in plain sight, in the inexplicable precision of the Egyptian pyramids, the enigmatic Nazca lines of Peru, and in the arcane texts of Sumerian civilization. Parallel to this is the notion of interdimensional beings, entities existing beyond our conventional understanding of space and time. Some theorists propose that these beings have the ability to influence our reality, potentially orchestrating events on a global scale. In this context, the global reset could be perceived not merely as a socio-economic shift, but as a fundamental alteration of our dimensional existence. Lost technologies form another intriguing facet of this tapestry. From the antediluvian knowledge of Atlantis to the fabled Vimanas of ancient India, tales of advanced prehistoric civilizations abound. Could these civilizations have mastered the art of manipulating reality, initiating resets at will? The idea, while speculative, provides a tantalizing lens through which to view the current discourse on the global reset. The topic of hybrid bloodlines fuses these strands of thought, suggesting the existence of a lineage with both human and non-human ancestry. This hybrid bloodline, some argue, has been preserved through the ages, its members occupying positions of global influence. Is it possible that these hybrid beings are the architects of the global reset, steering humanity towards a predetermined destiny? These esoteric offshoots, while divergent and controversial, contribute to the rich tapestry of alternative perspectives surrounding the global reset theory. They invite us to reconsider our understanding of history, reality, and our place within the cosmic order. They challenge us to question the nature of power, influence, and the unseen forces that may be at play in our world. The global reset, in this light, emerges not just as an economic or political shift, but as a seismic event within a much larger, hidden narrative. As we peer into the abyss of uncertainty, the global reset theory, with its myriad interpretations and implications, continues to pose more questions than it answers. The very essence of our reality, our history, and our destiny stands under the shadow of this grand, overarching narrative. Each thread we pull unravels yet another layer of this complex tapestry, leading us deeper into the labyrinth of hidden meanings and suppressed truths. If the global reset is indeed a pre-planned event, who are its masterminds? Are they human? Or do they belong to an ancient hybrid bloodline, a lineage intertwined with non-human entities, hidden in the shadows of our history? Perhaps they are interdimensional beings, operating beyond the conventional bounds of space and time. Or could they be custodians of lost ancient technologies, capable of manipulating reality at will? The answers remain elusive, shrouded in a fog of secrecy and speculation. The notion of a planned global reset also challenges our understanding of power structures. Are the institutions we perceive as powerful merely puppets in a grand cosmic drama? If so, how does this affect our notions of democracy, sovereignty, and human rights? What does this imply about our collective agency, our capacity to shape the course of history? Moreover, if the global reset is a reality, what does it mean for our future? Does it herald a golden age of enlightenment, or a dystopian era of control and surveillance? Are we on the brink of a transformational leap in human evolution, or are we being herded into a new form of servitude? Again, the answers remain tantalizingly out of reach, obscured by a veil of uncertainty. The global reset theory, in its broadest sense, invites us to question the very fabric of our existence. It compels us to look beyond the surface of our perceived reality, to probe the shadowy depths where the known and unknown meet. It confronts us with the possibility that our world is far more complex, far more mysterious than we can fathom. In the end, the question is not merely whether we are living through a pre-planned global reset. The question is what hidden truths lie beneath the surface of this enigma. What else are they hiding? What remains unexplained? What if it's all true? As we delve deeper into this labyrinth, each question opens the door to another, leading us ever onward in our search for the truth. The journey, it seems, has only just begun. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of the Forbidden Knowledge Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.